Oh man, I'm so excited for Valley Fair this year. It's gonna be so much fun. I just love rides. Rides are like the best. It's the funnest in the world. For sure the rides are.
Everybody loves rides.
No, I love rides more than everyone for sure, because rides are just like, they're the best.
Everyone thinks rides are the best.
Yeah, but I bet you I know more about them than everyone else, definitely. They're so fast, that's why they're so much fun, is because they're just so fast all the time. Like Power Tower, you just boom, and then Wild Thing just drops you. I bet that's the fastest for sure, is Wild Thing, no doubt. What do you think?
I bet you it's Steel Venom.
Well, how will we find out? How fast is Steel Venom anyways?
Well... Alright, today we're gonna learn about Steel Venom at Valley Fair.
Question.
Go ahead, Eli.
Actually, it's kind of a stupid question.
Now, Eli, there's no such thing as stupid questions.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, like, do I have to raise my hand if I have a question?
Yeah, Eli, that's a great question. Everybody remember to raise your hands. Steel Venom is a ride which consists of 3 parts. It starts at a horizontal, goes up, starts spinning at the top, comes back down backwards, goes back to the horizontal, goes up vertical backwards, and it does that 3 times.
Ooh!
Sanchez!
Yeah, how fast does it go?
Well, actually, we use Logger Pro to find that the maximum net velocity is 26 meters per second. But we had to find the X velocity and the Y velocity because it went horizontal and vertical. The equation to find the net velocity, you take the velocity in the X direction, which is the horizontal, and you take the velocity in the Y direction, which is the vertical. You square both of them, so multiply it by itself, and then you take the square root of those after you add them to each other. So the equation looks like this. No. Hold it farther back. Hold it farther back.
So what you're saying is, if I jumped off that cliff, the only thing that will be affecting my velocity is the downward force of gravity?
Well, no. That doesn't really have anything to do with Steel Venom, but I could tell you what velocity is.
Could you please elaborate on that subject, Mr. Freebird?
It's actually the amount of distance you cover during a certain time.
Well then, what's the acceleration?
Well, on the Steel Venom, the greatest acceleration occurs at the bottom of a loop. So at the bottom of a turn when it goes from vertical to horizontal. And that is when it's centripetal acceleration. And centripetal acceleration is when any object travels in a circular path, its velocity is changing because the direction is changing. So that's the change in velocity is the change in centripetal acceleration. The equation for centripetal acceleration is the velocity squared over the radius of the turn. We found the radius of the turn using this image. Can you get the image in there?
Yeah.
What I did What we did is I took this compass, I found a center point where I could draw a pencil line along the entire curve. That radius turned out to be about 18.923 meters. The average velocity of a turn is 21.81 meters per second, and the radius of this turn is, as I said, 18.923 meters. So I did 28.81 meters per second, squared that and divided by 18.923 meters, and I got some errors may have occurred during the placing of the points on the Logger Pro of the clip of the Steel Venom. So we might not be exact.
Where do you feel the most force?
Well, Eli, the most force occurs at the bottom of the ride where the most acceleration occurs, right there. Because the centripetal force and the normal force both point straight up at that point. The normal force is the force that pushes you against your object that you're standing on, in this case the tracks on the railing, and the centripetal force always points towards the center. So that is the point where the normal force and the centripetal force are both pointing up, so they add together to create the most force.
Wow, that was like the coolest thing in the world. That gives me like the best idea ever. MG down! Mr. Freeberg, help me!
Eli, grab hold! If you can master steel venom, you can do this!
Physics!
Sanchez!
Yeah, how fast